All right, welcome back. On RealCopStoriesVideos.com, we have 355 short stories, 3, 7, 9 minutes. Police stuff, foot pursuits, vice, narcotics, gangs, naked bodies, running, all kinds of stuff. I looked them up. Now, adding on to that, in the same website, RealCopStoriesVideos.com, we're continuing on. We have 120 question and answers, long term. Some of the stuff's pretty neat, I think. It talks about, right now we're talking about supervision. I'm going through my entire career. Good, bad, a lot of ugly. I think, in the sense, as I'm a top step now, 70% questionable supervisors, 30% very good. The math's not right, maybe 60% bad, and a good solid 10% of that is horrible. So we have 10% horrible, 60% marginal, and 30% really good supervisors that I work with and for. Okay? So if you want to ask me a question, okay, email me at rsbcopstories@gmail.com. And now I'm working in a different division. I picked it up. It's kind of dysfunctional, and they're trying to get me new employees. So one day I come to work, and my lieutenant says, "Hey, we got a new guy for you. He's coming from another division up here, and we transfer him up here." Okay, fine. So he goes, "I got a problem." "What's the problem?" "Well, we have a disciplinary procedure that we have, that when someone makes a complaint, it's investigated, and they have to advise the employee that he has to take either a day off without pay or something else." Okay, so this guy that's coming up, he had slept. Tell you what happened. He had slept at a training day in a classroom setting, and the instructor went to wake him up, and he got mad at the instructor, called the supervisor in. They were having a discussion in the hallway about him sleeping in the classroom, and I guess he F-bombed the supervisor. So he was told to go sit in the office. He wouldn't do it. So they called our unit, our division, and they opened up a personnel complaint. And it's been going on for like 5 months. And they finally just decided that he was wrong in everything he did. They gave him a day off without pay. But a supervisor has to serve him. Here it comes. He's coming to me. I have to serve him. I don't even know the guy. Okay? Okay, fine. So I go, great. He goes, well, my lieutenant goes, really good lieutenant goes, well, you know, you're a good guy. You're public relations. You can talk. He said, you know, you can tone it down a little bit, telling the guy he's going to take a day off without pay? How do you tone that down? But anyway, okay, fine. So he comes in. He came in a couple days early, was bringing his stuff, didn't say hi to anybody. I said, uh-oh, he's not a happy camper. Okay. So finally, the third day, I said, hey, can I talk to you for a second? Can you imagine going to a job, and the third day you finally decide to go talk to your boss, or you decide to say hi to someone? I thought that was kind of strange. Man, when I get all my jobs, I had, I don't know, 20 of them in 35 years. First day out of the gate, I go to meet my boss. I go introduce myself. How you doing? And he knows I'm coming anyway. No. Okay, so finally he goes in. I said, how you doing? This is what I expect of you. And he's sitting there again, and like he doesn't want to be here. Okay, fine. I said, so I thought, well, I might as well add bad news to really bad news to bad news. Oh, by the way, you know about this personnel complaint that you had when you were sleeping in the classroom? He goes, yeah. Well, it came back. You know, it did. Yeah. And I go, you know, and I try to explain to him what the reasoning was. You know, these instructors are sensitive, and they're trying to instruct for 35 people, and you know, he's just like, you know. So it came back that you had in fact slept in the classroom. You threw an F-bomb at a supervisor. You disobeyed an order to go sit down, and they got you on it. Oh, what? I said, well, you have to take a day off without pay. Okay, now he woke up. You know, so I thought, okay, fine. So he's all pissed off. And why is he pissed off at me? I finally said, look, bro, I am not giving you the day off without pay. Being a supervisor, I have to serve you, okay? I don't want to be here anyway. I said, well, nobody really wants to be where they want to be unless you want to be there. Does that make sense? You know. I said, but this is what I expect of you. Do this. Well, I don't know about that. Okay, so I go, well, I said, are you going to sign this? No, I'm not going to sign it. He has to sign that he got a copy of it. I said, okay, fine. So I just stepped back. I'm not going to let this guy rattle me. He's 3 steps below me in rank. I'm not going to. So he goes, he goes, can I go? I said, go ahead and go. What are you going to do? Well, he walked out, went right into the lieutenant's office. Okay. So I go back out, and I told my assistant, I got this. I throw in the thing. Well, I'll just wait for the outcome of this thing. So then I hear some talking, because the walls are kind of thin, but you can hear people talking. Door opens up, it slams shut. He comes around, picks up his box. He brought his stuff in his desk over there. He goes out the door. Well, that's interesting. I guess he's leaving. So then, there's that comm line, right, Lieutenant? Well, I finally told him, hey, boss, stick your head out the window and say, hey, Ray, I'm only right here, okay? Anyway, so I come around. What's going on? He goes, well, I said, he's going to sign the form. I said, okay, what's the matter? What's going on here? What? He goes, well, he doesn't want to be here. Okay. He goes, so I'm going to send him back where he came from. I go, so you had a 9-year-old temper tantrum and you're going to let him get his way, right? And he looks at me. You know, we both pretty sharp. And he goes, yeah. I said, okay. He goes, so I expect the next employee to have another temper tantrum. I'm not going to get him, so I won't get anybody then, right? Well, you know, he was shot on the job. I said, really? He was shot on the job? Okay. I looked it up. Okay. 10 years ago, they responded to a shots fired call, and somebody shot a shotgun at them, and he got a little ding on the arm. Okay. And then the suspect gave up. Okay. Well, grant you, he was shot at. I'll give him that. He got wounded. But this isn't like an SLA shootout or, you know, exchanging gunfire at a traffic stop where bullets are flying everywhere. He would just, but he uses that as, you know, leverage. You know, I was wounded. And, oh my gosh. Okay, give it a rest. I'm sorry. Anyway, that was interesting. So then, sure enough, he came back for a second box, and he finally signed the form, and then he left. And I said, boy, you got more patience than I did, because I wouldn't. I tell him, you're a 9-year-old having an attack here, and I don't talk to 9-year-olds. But you do whatever you want. He goes, well, would you want him working for you? I said, well, he couldn't work for me. Why not? Because I'd be a harder ass than you would be any day of the week. So you're good that you sent him away. He goes, yeah, I guess I am. So we kind of mutually agreed that it was kind of funny, and you know, anyway. So okay. So here we go, a little side story. Well, not really a side story. A racism story's here. Another racism story. Hope I get through this. I might have to go to the next one. I had an assistant who happened to be black. Okay. We have every other year. Actually, it's every year, I think. We have a police Olympics, and every year it moves on. It goes to Southern California, Northern California. Now they go to Arizona, Southern Nevada. You have thousands of athletes. I mean, it's the second largest amateur event in the world. The number one is the Olympics. This is number 2. Draws thousands of policemen, women, men, whatever. And all the stuff you wouldn't see normally. You know, it's dog handling, horse riding, all stuff that patrol stuff, not horse riding. But they have all the other sports. They have, you know, bronco busting and rodeo. They have everything you can think of, police pursuits, you know, all kinds, and of course, all the normal sports. Bowling, golf, tennis, basketball, that's all cops competing. Women teams, men teams, mixed teams, you name it, they got it. So my assistant was a bowler. And so he comes back one day, a weekend, and he's a pretty upbeat guy. And he's going to retire soon, and I hope to be at his retirement, be honored to talk at his retirement. But he's feeling really bad. So I go, let's go to lunch. You know, so again, we didn't have a lot to do because we only have a small squad. The smaller the squad, the smaller the workload. Nice for me, I don't have to do anymore, but I like people, I want to make a rest. Anyway, so he tells me the story. He says that there's a bowling team being formed for our department. And he's a pretty good bowler. He shoots in like in the 220s and 230s consistently. He's a really good guy. He almost went pro. And so I tried out for the team. And I found out this one guy that's in charge of the team had tryouts on the weekend. And, you know, I was the only black guy there. And the guy, I'll tell you right now, my assistant, the black guy, never brought up race ever. He was even hesitant to even tell me. Okay. So, okay, I go, well, what does that matter? He goes, well, because here's what happened. It was like, you know, I don't know how many members they had. I think they had like 8 or 10. I don't remember how many members they had. And there were like 20 guys there trying out for the team. And I said, well, how hard could that be? Everybody's bowling. It's in numbers, right? Higher numbers, you get picked, right? He goes, well, he was keeping track of the numbers. And I go, oh, that's not the answer to the question. Okay, it's like asking a politician a question. You don't get the right answer. He goes, he was doing the numbers, and then we had, you know, I had to leave, and other guys were coming, and they bowled, and they have to go because they had to go to work. So they're having the shots in the morning, and a lot of the officers have to work in the evening shift, so they get them out of the way, and I had things I had to do. So you go there, you bowl I think they bowl like a half a dozen games, and then they get their average and whatever, and then he compiles a list, and then he calls everybody that they made the team or didn't make the team. Okay. So what'd you do? He goes, I did really well. I averaged like 221 or something. I said, oh, great. That's great. Yeah, you know, okay, fine. He goes, yeah, I didn't get the call. I found out from one of the other teammates that he called everybody else, and this buddy of mine at bowls called me and said, you didn't make the team. He goes, well, my guy says, were the scores really high? He goes, no. 2 guys were below you. And then the guy that called him, happened to be white, tells him, oh, by the way, the whole team's white. And he goes, whoa, okay, here we go. He tells me, so I bowl better than 2 of the guys, and I'm not on the team. And I tell him, this is crazy. This is like running a 100-meter race, and it's all numbers. It's all time. You get across, and the lead guy wins, and this is like saying, okay, well, he didn't win because he's black, so we're going to let this guy win. Weird. Okay. And of course, these are all cops. The guy that's running it's a cop. Well, I knew this guy back years ago in narcotics, and he thought he was pretty hot stuff, and he never promoted because sometimes your ego get in the way and you don't get promoted. But he was a first-level supervisor. Okay, fine. So he's feeling all down because he wanted to bowl, and his wife was there watching. She was all excited, they're going to make the team and all that. He didn't make it. Okay, so I go. So we're sitting there, and he's feeling really bad. So I'm sitting thinking about this. Okay, this is where you get the hash marks, a loss of hair, and lines in your face. So next day I come to her. Hey, let's go to lunch. I said, look, this is what you're going to do. He goes, what? He said, I know from a fact that our department's so big that we have multiple teams. We'll have like 3 baseball teams. We'll have 3 lady baseball teams. We'll have, who knows how many golfers we have. Because we're so big. You should put a word out. Plenty of time to do this. Like not even a year or so. I think it's like 8 or 9 months. Put out a word to our paper that you want to make team number 2. You can register with the thing and make a team number 2. You pick a team. You pick a team and F him. He goes, he's pretty smart. He's pretty sharp. You could see that his wheels were rolling. He goes, I'm going to do that. I said, do it. And don't do what he did. He goes, absolutely not. The top numbers make the team. Excellent. Okay. So he put out a word. Okay. Well, I guess, I don't know this, but I guess it's like any other, like golfing teams and baseball teams, even though it's department wide, everybody knows everybody in these sports. So they knew him, and they knew that he was black. So guess what you get as applicants? Remember, he was the only black guy for this one tryout. He got like 80% minorities. He got Latinos, he got blacks coming to this tryout because they figure they got a chance, which is really weird. I'm not weird, but it's really I think it's kind of sensational myself. Here they come. He called me and he says, we got 40 people here. I said, well, go for it, man. They got a really good deal on one of the bowling alleys down there in the area that he knew the guy because he's been bowling there for years. He gave him like 3 lanes for free, and all that. I think he said, as long as you buy food, we'll be happy. So they're buying all the food because I guess they make money on the food. And so the bowling lanes, so they're bowling. He said, I spent like 6 hours all day bowling. Everybody's bowling. I'm not even bowling, I said, okay, fine. So I see him at work a couple days later. He comes to work, and he's all fired up, man. How'd it go? I said, great. He goes, I got my team, I'm all set. I said, well, did you make your own team? He goes, oh, yeah. I said, check this out. He even told me that he's going to bowl with the rest of the guys, and if he doesn't make the cut, he'll just run the team and not bowl. How about that, huh? That's an integrity issue. Remember, I hired an integrity later on, okay? Wow, that put him way up on the list of some integrity issue there, big time. Because he told me, he said, if I don't make the team, it's just all numbers, okay? And I said, so when you had the bowling, did you wait the next? He said, no, everybody's bowling, and I told him, stick around and we'll give you the results. It's real simple. It's all up there on the board. I don't bowl, but it's all up there. All the numbers are up there. All you got to do is write it down, get your little calculator, and go, these six scores divided by 6 for an average, and there's your average. That's what they're going by, the average, not by just one game, because they want to make sure they have a full thing there. Okay, I'm running out of time here. I'm so sorry. I'll come back on this one. It's a good one because it's racial tones here. Okay, see you later. Bye.